Good morning. I'm here in the high tunnel, and if you can't tell behind me, we've got pieces of material and wood and all of these things in here. I've had my high tunnel for, I want to say 7 or 8 years. And it's a learning experience. I've never had anybody show me. I've tried to reach out to other people that have high tunnels, say, hey, can I come tour yours? Can you kind of tell me what you've learned? But I've never received a response back. So it's all trial and error. And a high tunnel, it's a environment all of its own. So the first year I had some beds just kind of here and there. I'm sure my profile picture right now has a picture of that first year that I had the high tunnel. It started off great. Everything went amazing. And then midsummer hit, and I wasn't aware that I needed a shade cloth. Like I said, this is all learning, all trial and error. It cooked everything. About midsummer, everything but the okra, and even the okra got so hot that it stopped producing. It was so hot. And I had some fans down and the sides up and both doors open, but it just cooked everything. So I ripped out all the beds. Okay, these aren't gonna work. And I tried to do end ground planting, but I am on such a steep grade, and where my high tunnel is, the grade is very steep. So it just eroded. Everything just washed out. Because when it rains at the top of my property, it all comes down here. So it eroded from the bottom out. So that didn't work. And it's been a lot of trial and error. So I have torn everything out, and we are rebuilding beds and starting something new, a different irrigation system, because the irrigation system that I had in here before, I did do it with PVC that was supposed to be UV rated. However, it turns out that it's only so UV rated, and all the PVC got brittle and broke. And so I have some drip tape that's UV rated, and we're going to do that. That's going to have to be a whole nother video. Today, I'm going to give you a little tour of what we've got so far, show you what we've built, and then we're going to continue building some more beds, and we'll let y'all watch those. All right, so here is the tour of the high tunnel as it sits today. Here I've got this completed bed. It's got this little misting system just to kind of help keep the soil moist. This is not going to be my irrigation system. It is not sufficient for how hot it gets in here. This wood was scrap that came off of an old deck that was, all the pieces were going to be thrown away. So of course, you know, I like to repurpose and grab what I can, especially for free, because this stuff can get very expensive. And then all this tin was just tin that was left on my property. There was this building way off in the property that was made with a lot of tin, and it collapsed. And so we salvaged all the tin off of it that we can. Now this bed was my trial and error bed. I did find that it tried to bow in a couple places, so we did have to do some more bracing. But it's handling the tomatoes. I've got some interplanting that's going on in there. You can't see a whole lot of it. I did fill the bottom with a lot of logs that were on the property that were dying, you know, half decomposed. Then we did a bunch of leaves, and then I filled it with compost and topsoil that I got from a local nursery, because that seems to be the cheapest way to do it. So there's this bed that goes all the way down. The thing is it is very, very deep, and up here is the higher part, you know, because I told you I'm on that steep grade. So this bed is the same level all the way down. I'm going to have to find some way to stop the erosion, which I'll probably do with bricks at each one of these braces, just to kind of keep it from eroding down. So we've got that all the way down. In a previous video, I showed you a crate that I had fire sealed those are the crates I fire sealed. My husband got another crate for me. We've got another one to the side. I do need to fire seal those, but I just put this one here to kind of show you. So it's going to go this bed. We're going to do a row of these crates all the way up. Then we'll do probably a 2-foot bed with some yard timbers, and that's going to go all the way up. And then this will be the crates again, because we have found an unlimited supply. Just have to be patient. And those will go all the way up. In here right now I've got peppers and eggplants. And this is the next bed that I'm making. Here I am putting in everything that I've learned from that bed. As you can tell, the wood that I'm using, this is still that same drop, but on that bed I ripped them down to try to get more wood out of it. This bed I'm not, because I don't want to deal with the bowing out of it. I've also taken the yard timbers and put them in the bottom and in the center to brace it. This bed will go out. We're going to build another section. You'll see that here in a minute. It'll go out to about right past this wagon. So then right here, I'm going to build the rest of the beds from these yard timbers, because I have a bunch of yard timbers, and we're going to step it down. So up here where the ground is the highest will be the shortest bed, and as it comes up to here, it will be the highest. Kind of help with that erosion. So sit tight, grab some popcorn or another treat, and watch us build. All right, so this bed is done. We did fill this one, the very bottom of it, up to about a foot from the top. We filled that with just a fill dirt. A friend of ours had to do some work on their home and they had this huge pile of just fill dirt. So they said that we can come get some. So we filled the bottom of this bed with that fill dirt, and then the last foot was the compost and super soil. And so we've got the yard timber beds, and we did 5 deep, and it's filled the same with the fill soil and then the compost and super soil. Then this one is 4 deep, filled the same. And then we got here, this is going to be 3 deep, but I ran out of screws. So it'll go 3 deep, and then next to it'll be 2 deep, and then it'll go 1. Now the 3, 2, and 1 deep, they are much shallower, so I'll have to take the plastic out of the bottom. And this plastic, it'll shred if you try to cut it. So I will use a torch and just burn that out. I also finished fire sealing the crates that we had on hand and got them filled. So we will continue to build these beds and update y'all, and I'm gonna work on getting some things planted. As you can tell, I've got some of my starters that I'm gonna plant. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next time.